Director of Research Evan Abrams joins me now. We're going to rip through all four matchups this weekend and all the relevant trends. Let's start with Texans Ravens, 4:30 Eastern Saturday. CJ Stroud, a chance to continue his epic rookie season. How significant would an upset be for him?
Yeah, people can't get enough of the Texans, Maria. Now let's go back to the bet percentage for a second. So in the last 20 years in the playoffs, only four teams who were underdogs of a touchdown or more actually closed with 60% of tickets. The last was the Saints in 2014. So it's been a decade. Moving on from that for a second. So if the Texans do close between 9.5, or even more, and CJ Stroud is able to take down the Ravens, he would join Mark Sanchez as the only rookies to win a playoff game as that high of an underdog. And from Stroud's point of view, I mean, he hasn't thrown an interception since November 11th. 6 straight games. He's got 9 touchdowns. Kid couldn't be playing better. So the opportunity's there.
So impressive. And another young QB who has captured a lot of hearts is Jordan Love. Some wondering if the Packers can shock the world. So what's at stake in this one historically?
Historically, this might be the most fun we've ever had. So Brett Favre couldn't beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. He was 0-3. Now Rodgers and Love 3-0. Aaron Rodgers couldn't beat the 49ers in the playoffs, 0-4. Favre went 4-1. So now Jordan Love can basically complete history. He can also be the only quarterback, only team to beat the Cowboys and the 49ers in the same playoff campaign. I looked it up like 4 times. To me, it was almost impossible that it was true, but really fun with both of their histories. And I'll give you one stat, and this stat's a little bit of a scary one. So teams to win as underdogs in the wild card round are actually 1-19 straight up in the divisional round since 2011. The only win were the Titans +10 over the Ravens in 2020. So history not on Lamar's side in that one.
Well, sticking with that matchup for a second,
Sure.
Packers Matt LaFleur obviously knows Kyle Shanahan very well, but has a tall task because Shanahan has been so good in his playoff career.
Yeah, not only that. So the Niners had a streak of, if I remember, 9, 10, 11 games of winning at home and covering this season. So they've been on a run at home. And in the playoffs historically, Shanahan 4-0 straight up and against the spread, both as a favorite and at home. Since 1990, he is the only head coach undefeated with that many wins in both spots. And speaking of undefeated, I'll give you one more fun one. Baker Mayfield, 3-0 against the spread in the playoffs in his career. He is just one of 2 quarterbacks, 3-0 ATS or better in their playoffs since 1980. Every other quarterback has at least one loss. The other one, so it's Jeff Hostetler, who finished 5-0 against the spread, retired, went off, drank some drinks, looking good. But the thing that's fun with this Bucs team, they went 0-4 ATS as underdogs last year. So complete turnaround.
Yeah, elaborate on that a little bit more because I know
Sure.
they've been very good against the spread, at least recently.
Yeah, so Baker's covered 4 in a row as a dog, and he's 7-1 ATS in his last 8. I mean, this year they're 9-3 ATS as underdogs, including 6-6 straight up. They've really come out of nowhere, very similar to the other Bay, right? Green Bay and Tampa Bay having very nice late surges to the season.
So, as you pointed out, the Bucs, it feels like they can make some noise against the Lions, but I do want to touch on the Lions and just how remarkable this turnaround has been for an otherwise maligned franchise.
Yeah, between the Browns and the Lions, it's been a really, really fun late season in terms of things that haven't happened since like the 50s and 60s. So this is just the second time in Lions franchise history that they've been favorites in the playoffs in consecutive games. It last happened for them in 1952. The Rams and then the Browns. They played the Browns actually in Cleveland in the championship game and were favored. The number one song in America that time, now this is a Matt Mitchell find, he did this earlier, so this isn't from me, is I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus, December 1952. Feels near impossible, but this is a Restore the Roar, bring back Detroit.
That's incredible. 1952. It has been a while. Okay. One more game to talk about, and it's a good one. This divisional weekend will appropriately culminate with Chiefs Bills Sunday night. What's noteworthy heading into this rivalry game?
Yeah, we would almost say this is scripted to make this matchup end the weekend to go to the championship game, but we're not going to say that. But to go into detail, everyone's going to say the stat. It's worth repeating. Mahomes, 7-3 straight up, 8-1-1 against the spread as an underdog in his career. Now, everywhere you're going to go, everyone's going to say, this is Patrick Mahomes' first game as an underdog as a road team in the playoffs. Well, he actually played the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay facing the Bucks. They lost that game 31-9. So maybe his second road game or second road environment. It's also worth noting he hasn't played in Buffalo since his first game there, like 5 years ago, and there were no fans. So this is going to be his first experience in Buffalo with the Mafia, which should be fun. And one Josh Allen stat, which I found fascinating. So last week against the Steelers, they played near perfect football, no turnovers. And for the Bills and Josh Allen, that's a little uncommon. So Josh Allen is 13, 18, and 2 against the spread after the Bills don't turn over the ball in their previous game. That includes a 4, 10, and 1 ATS mark in the past 3 seasons. That is the worst of 80 quarterbacks in the NFL. So Josh Allen usually ends up turning it over after not. So we're going to see if he can keep the streak going and stay clean against Kansas City, Maria.
A little scary for Josh Allen, but also a little scary for Mahomes, who has not experienced this road environment in Buffalo with fans. This is going to be so fun. Evan Abrams, enjoyed this a lot. Thank you so much for joining Green Dot Daily.
100%. Enjoy the weekend, Maria.